Now that we have wrapped up things with mid-latitude cyclones, it's time to move on to tropical cyclones. These cyclones are so large, having a diameter of 600 to 1000 kilometers. They form over tropical oceans, gaining energy from these oceanic bodies to maintain their strength. They derive their energy through evaporation of water from the ocean surfaces. The isobars of a tropical cyclone are almost circular. This is because the pressure is more or less the same in all directions. The atmospheric pressure at the center of the tropical cyclone is usually very low, often reaching a level of 960 hectopascals or below. This low pressure is one of the defining characteristics of a tropical cyclone and contributes to its strong wind and intense storm activity. Tropical cyclones, like all giant engines, uses warm moist air as fuel. That is why they form only over warm ocean waters near the equator. The warm moist air rises over the ocean upwards. Driven by the tropical easterlies, tropical cyclones travels westwards at a speed of about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, on average covering about 200 kilometers per day. The storm that forms north of the equator spins counterclockwise, while the storm south of the equator spins clockwise. This difference is because of the Earth's rotation on its axis, known as Coriolis force. Tropical cyclones occur every year during late summer months, that is from January to March, in the southern hemisphere, where water surfaces are much warmer. Now we have just looked at the general characteristics. So now let's look at the areas where tropical cyclones form. These cyclones form over warm oceans between 5 degrees to 20 degrees north and south. They are rare to occur in the southern Atlantic Ocean. This is because the water in the ocean is not warm enough. The Pacific Ocean generates the greatest number of tropical cyclones, followed by the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean is ranked the third. Tropical cyclones are warm seasons phenomena. The peak frequency of these cyclones occur after the maximum in solar radiation. On that note, they tend to form on the eastern side of the continents, where there is warm currents. They move from east to west, but later tend to curve north or south towards the poles. Tracking them is not something quite easy. They are given different names depending on their location and strength. Some examples of tropical cyclone names include the hurricane and typhoon. Tropical cyclones are named once the speed reaches 65 kilometers per hour. They are named in alphabetical order using male and female names. The list restarts each season. The names that are chosen must be short, easy to pronounce, and neutral to politics, culture, and gender. The World Meteorological Organization names tropical cyclones in the Indian Ocean.